The name of this expedition is River of Grass. The River of Grass, in your mind, imagine the early settlers that came to Florida. They saw this vast swampland. What it was a massive river flowing in some places 6 inches deep, some places a foot and a half deep, depending upon how much rain had fallen over time. So they saw water moving across a landscape full of sawgrass.
Paddling right now in a Class 1 water supply as designated by the state of Florida. The reason it's Class 1 is it's going into the water catchment area, which is a Class 1 water based on usually on the type of water it's going to ultimately be. And this water is going to ultimately be drinking water for the city of West Palm Beach. In other words, there's no houses and septic tanks that are discharging into the canal. There's banks that are built up so that it doesn't get normal runoff and things like that. So therefore, it maintains its designation for the state of Florida as a Class 1 water supply, primarily for drinking water sources.
In canoeing through the canals in the Everglades, it really brought back to me that this is a rain-driven system. Because the rain falls in distinct periods of time through the year. If you were not capturing it in the lake, in the canals, in the catchment areas, it would be lost. It's so important for people to realize that all of these impoundments and catchment areas, lakes and reservoirs are critical to guard the drinking water system for all of South Florida.
The KOE system is our watershed, and it refers to K being our Kissimmee River, O is Lake Okeechobee, and E is the Everglades. Wetlands are used to hold the water while it's raining at the surface level and slowly let it percolate through sediment, sand, rock layers, through to the limestone, where we have a river basically running underground, which we call the aquifer. For 6 months of the year, we have, our hydrology is 6 months of rain and 6 months of dry period. So during that rainy season, we have to maintain our wetland areas such as the J.W. Corbett Wildlife Management Area, the Dupuy Preserve, and places like Grassy Waters Preserve. And what we're pulling out of the aquifer is crystal clear, clean water, which we use for our drinking water.
Today is a good day.
Good morning. Awesome day.
This life here is going to last 2,000 years.
We were all just discussing how we were floating along, and the wind was pushing us. Like, what we needed was a sail. That's what we knew. We were all going to sail together.
Who mentioned the tarp? I don't know.
Lily did.
I think that it's been amazing transitioning from, you know, a residential and populated area into a more pristine nature setting back into, you know, a canal system, which is completely a man-made structure. One of the things I've realized is that even the man-altered nature is still beautiful. There's still a lot of beautiful natural area, and the area that is altered, there's still hope for it because it is still beautiful, it is still nature, and there's a lot to appreciate in that as well.
Coming down this canal, the M Canal, we did find trash. When we think back over this trip, we all kind of commented that we saw more trash in the Rim Canal, and then as we moved into the LA, we really didn't see any trash. And part of that is just where were people accessing it. Every single person, if they leave one bottle and they think to themselves, it's only one bottle, no big deal. But as you can see from the quantity that we picked up, it is a big deal. And it's not good for the environment, it's not good for the system.
This is all in our water supply, be it a Class 1 water supply for drinking water or a Class 3 water supply for flood control. But we have no idea what the ultimate end of these things are, because they're going to be sitting in our environment for a long, long, long time. And especially with styrofoam, the styrene, we have no idea what the long-term effects of styrene is going to be, and yet it's going to be in our environment forever in these water supplies. And we found a great deal of styrofoam today.
The plastic bags that we use every day at the grocery store, when they break down, the polymers actually can get into our aquifers and, like Alan said, eventually into our bloodstream. So they're actually more toxic as they break down.
And to me, it's kind of symbolic that everybody needs to take responsibility for both the state of where things are today and where they're going to be in the future with respect to the environment and to water.